Hey guys, it's Vicky. I'm over at the terrace house. I'm just going to give you a quick video update today. Try to keep it under like 15 minutes. Just because there's some things that are starting to bloom and looking pretty, and I wanted to catch that for you. So this back here is the Golden Alexander plant. This is a Nebraska, Iowa native. Probably native elsewhere too, but anyway. This Zephyrin Druin is putting out some blooms. They all seem to be hiding because the deer eat all of the ones that are accessible to them, so the only ones that we really have are kind of buried in here. Let's see if I can get you a couple to look at. So again, we won't have to deal with this problem after this year because I'm going to be moving all the roses to my newly fenced in area. This here is some milkweed. They are budding up. Seems to be happening really quickly since last time I was over here, so that's cool. That's a little blue stem grass down there. That's pretty much it over there. These iris are looking really pretty. I do need to probably start getting in here and deadheading because I'm seeing some already fading back. This is more debris from the progress that they've made on the house. Let me just take you for a quick look. I wouldn't say it's going too fast, but they've gotten, like, that area over there wasn't dug down before, so they're digging down on that side. Looks like, you know, they took the deck away, and they're kind of working on these walls. I assume they're just going to be taking them down because this area will become lawn after, well, not lawn, but, you know, grassy area. I've got to talk to these builders and work people, though, about being careful not to smash my plants. I've already talked to them about the fact that I'm going to be moving these bushes and stuff out of the way just as soon as I can, because today is actually the ribbon cutting ceremony at my work. And then once that is over with and the lawn care guys over there, they're gonna remove sod in the area where the new garden's gonna go. So once they get that sod removed, I can start transplanting things over there, and that'll make this a lot easier for me. Anyway, we've got some more iris in bloom over here. Aurelia Sun King growing up quickly, just as they always do. This is a spirea. This is a lemon lace elderberry. You know, I was thinking last year that I was going to move this out and put it along this row in a more sunnier area. But I think I'm changing direction because I really like the chartreuse of that, and that, and that, and that. And maybe this should just be like my, you know, because it's in the shade most of the day. So that chartreusey green gives it that extra pop of color that's really pretty. So I think I might just keep it the way it is. I like it. And just keep adding more textures and colors that I like. I brought more water over so I could water my 3 baby hydrangeas again. I don't even know what this is. I planted this last year, I guess. So we'll see. A couple of my twin leaf. Remember I said I put some twin leaf bare roots in here. That's what they look like when they first start coming out. That's why they're called twin leaf. But they get white flowers. It's just that their time to bloom has already passed. So I don't know that we're going to see any flowers this year. But if we do, I'll be sure to get those on camera for you. I had another patch of the twin leaf. I can't remember where I put them. That's the thing about them going underground. So hopefully those will pop up too. And then I brought some more water over. Like, that's an astilbe. It's looking super dried out. This white bleeding heart looks okay. They must be able to tolerate dryness, but this astilbe was looking kind of bad, so I brought some water over. And that fern, I need to get in here and do a little bit of weeding and then mulch, and then I think this bed will look pretty good. So I have some very distressing stuff to show you. I'm distressed by it. I'm sure any gardener would be. These builders, or I don't know what you call them, workers, the people that are doing the removal of debris and whatnot, I have no idea why but they appear to have come through and weed whacked about half of the plants in this flower bed. Like these were my Oriental iris that I had just attached to those stakes. So you would think somebody would have enough common sense to know that, hey, that's intentional. This plant over here, this was my sweet, what is it called? I always forget. Cleopatra, or I'll put the name up. Anyway, it's supposed to be a large shrub, and you can see that it's almost nothing. It looks like it was weed whacked. And then over here, all of these iris weed whacked down to the ground. This is part of my rose bush weed whacked along this wall. Coming around the corner, this got weed whacked. Back here was already pretty much destroyed from everything that happened when the tree fell, so I'm not as concerned in this area. But they also took down a bunch of, what are these called? Asiatic lilies that I was planning to transplant, and now they're just destroyed. So I need to talk to them and be like, look, I thought we weren't working on the porch yet. I thought we weren't working on the fence yet. Why is this happening? And why is it happening with nobody talking to me about it? Look at what happened to my lilac tree, my lilac shrub. Like, this thing has been struggling for like 3 years, and it was finally starting to look good, and now it's just completely destroyed. So I'm upset about that, obviously. I need to talk to these people and just be like, hey, in case it wasn't abundantly clear to you, I do give a crap about my garden, and you do not have permission to destroy it. I'll move these plants, but you have to let me know which ones, what areas do you need me to move, because I was not anticipating any of this stuff getting worked on right now, because I was told that they were just starting in the back area. I even specifically talked to them about this area recently, and he said, no, it should be fine. They're going to be working on the foundation stuff back there. Anyway, let me move on because I'm upset. But that happened. Oh, I do have some beautiful peonies that are coming into bloom, so I should show you those. These are the Duchess des Nemours, if I'm saying it right. Let's get a close up. They're so pretty. So that's what these look like. And over here we have the, I only have one that's kind of open. Hang on. This is the Sarah Bernhardt. So, a bunch more of those to open yet. I know I told you guys I was going to take down my grapevines. Guess what? I haven't done it. And we're getting all of these little grapes are budding up. So, I'm just going to leave it again. I'll worry about moving it next year when I'm back in the house. And then let's see, down here, luckily they have no reason to mess with my terrace. I decided to get these potato vines because they were much further along in their growth than these other ones that I planted. And I also like the color a lot. When I saw it, I was like, oh, this is like this bronzy. I just haven't seen that color in the potato plants before. So I decided to add those. And I think they're really pretty. Other than that, our yarrows are budding up. That catmint is looking really pretty. Of course, some pretty salvias. Here's another one of those potato vine plants. They're wet because I just watered them. I brought some jugs of water over again. Hang on one second. Oh, the pink salvia is looking really pretty. And then these yarrows right next to them. Yeah, these are the pink ones that will go really well with these when they bloom. Okay, so do you guys remember I said I was going to move this big Artemisia that was right here into that ball. I have done it. It is looking really sad. I was expecting that. So I'm gonna dump a whole bunch of water on it here in just a second. What else? I need to get up there and deadhead all those iris. They're starting to look ragged now. They're past their prime. And it's time for me to get up in here and weed out some stuff. I see a bunch of the wild 4 o'clocks. Do you see these kind of tall things with the little like round puffs on them? They're growing up through the salvia there. And there's some more of them in here. They're less noticeable though because it's just a bunch of different green stuff. But I need to get in and pull those out. What else? Oh, these are the best peonies I've got. Jeez. And I don't know the name of them, but aren't they gorgeous? Here, let me get up top so I can get an even better view. Oh, that one's really pretty. I don't know if I've told you guys this before, but I grew up in the South, in the Florida, Georgia area, and we don't really grow peonies down there because I think they need a certain amount of cold during the winter in order to bloom and be healthy and all that stuff. Oh my gosh, it's already got like powdery mildew. How bizarre. It's probably because it's so dry out. I read that powdery mildew actually is more common when you're in a drought than when things are like well watered. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. So I grew up in the South. We didn't really have peonies down there. So the first time I ever saw them or smelled them or anything was when I moved up here to Nebraska. And I actually live in Iowa now, but Nebraska and Iowa, very, very common to see a lot of peonies. So this might be Carl. What was it? Carl something. And then I don't know what this one is. No idea, but it's very, very pretty. So happy to see those are blooming. And I actually need to go back over to my other house. I have a lot of work to do at the other house. It's getting pretty weedy and overgrown over there. Look, my snow and summers have some little blooms. Those are pretty. Okay, guys, like I said, trying to keep it a short video today. So that's it for the update. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Hey guys, I'm at the rental and I just looked in the backyard and saw all these beautiful iris in bloom. Aren't these pretty? And these are definitely different than the ones I have at my house. So I'm going to be able to get some splits off of these and take some to my house. Awesome. Anyway, they're very pretty. In the front yard there was also a pinkish purple. I'll show you. We have the first peony starting to open over here. And they're just, these appear to be like just a solid white. They do have a touch of pink on the buds. But these over here, look how dark these are. Yet, there's also some that look like this. And they seem to be on the same plant. Although I suppose there could be two clumps kind of side by side. I'm not really sure. But these are further away from opening, so we'll definitely get to see those first. There's also some of these Siberian iris opening, which is so exciting. I've been waiting for these. I assumed they would be this color, but you never know. This is the most common type though. Aren't they pretty? And that's just a little one. This is another little clump. Appears to be the same kind. And then same over here. But over here, I'll show you at the end, there's another big stand of, I think they're Siberian iris, and those actually look like they might be white. So we'll see. I expanded this border today, so I dug the grass out a little bit. It needed to be like re-trimmed up, you know, to make it look better. I didn't get it perfect. I might work it a little bit more, but basically just gave a little bit extra room in this bed. Just a reminder, this is bee balm. I transplanted these little blue stem grasses. I think that's what those are right there. They're either little blue stem or ham elm. Those might be ham elm. And there's some sort of cute little... This was from one of the baskets that I bought on clearance last year from the grocery store. So it was like $5 and there was like probably, I don't know, 8 plants in each one. It was crazy. Don't remember what that is. That's just some of the sedum that is like creeping down this wall. And I mentioned in my last video, I think it's really pretty. Look, it's blooming yellow. But I really like it climbing in this wall. So I'm going to do the same thing at my other house. And in fact, I already have a ton of this stuff. Do you remember my front terrace where there's 2 peony shrubs and then my jade parade sand cherry is in between them? But they're underplanted with this stuff. So I have tons of that at my house. And I'm just going to do this on my little rock wall also because it looks cute. Those are still looking really pretty. Oh, I temporarily planted this here. I don't plan to leave it, but this is a blue muffin arrowwood viburnum. And this is a native that I bought to either go at my house or my work. Probably my house, but I can't put it there yet, so it just needed to get out of its pot. It was starting to get root bound, so I went ahead and put it there. It's pretty dianthus. Surprisingly, these aren't budding up yet, but this one down here totally is. So this one is going to open first. And these, if I remember correctly, were pink, but it could be sunset. I forget what it's called. There's one that's like starts like this peachy orange, and then over the time it fades to a yellow. And I think it's something sunset. What else is growing in here? This is orange milkweed. Don't have any buds yet. And then I think this is a coneflower. Oh, more orange milkweed. Oh, I was going to show you these. Yeah. So these Siberian iris, they appear like they're going to be white or maybe yellow, but definitely a lighter color. Super excited for those to open. And I moved a rosemary plant that I had overwintered in my garage. I moved it out here because it was just kind of dying in the pot and they're just much happier in the ground. So unfortunately they don't stay alive in our zone over winter. So the only way for me to keep the same plant would be to overwinter it in my garage. But that's what I did. And then these are a new flower that I got for Mother's Day. And I'll have to put the name on the screen. I don't remember. It's like Onathera or something like that. Their cultivar name is Siskiyou Pink, and I believe they are a nativar. So they're a cultivar of a native in my area, and I just think they're really sweet. I liked the color, very soft. So that's what's going on over there. That's what I did today. Just this border, you know, like I said, edging it up, getting that tidier. And I just wanted to show you those new things that were in bloom. I'll tack this video onto the end of my other one and talk to you guys later. Say bye, Secret. Bye.